So when I joined Rocketspark, so Rocketspark started in 2009. When I joined in 2013, we had a team of about five or six, a few part-timers here and there, and we were trying to scale, and we wanted to scale really organically and naturally. And when I got my first business card, on the back of it, it said websites, online stores, SEO, AdWords, logo design, business card design, brochure design. I think it even had Flash on there. Anyone who knows Flash will like shudder. I had all these things, and at the time, we're a subscription-based company. It takes a lot of $39 a month to build a business and pay staff. So we would take anything. Anyone that would come in the door, we were like, yep, we can do that, we can do that, we can do that. And that was good fun. It made for some interesting times. But what it also made for was a lot of stress and kind of not a lot of focus. So what we wanted to do, and if you look at our business cards now, it just says on the back, beautifully simple websites, and that's it. And everything else we've kind of, put by the wayside. And we've been able to do that because we've grown really naturally, organically, and now we're, self-sustaining. So, which is really great. But what I talk to businesses about a lot, and especially new businesses, is that when you're in that initial stage, you do actually almost need to take anything you can get, and then you can focus on what you're really good at, what you're really passionate about, what's profitable. That's a big thing that sometimes people don't think about, is actually choosing that work that is actually really profitable for you. Try and milk everything you can out of what you've got, and that comes to resources, people as well, in terms of don't hire until you are desperately needing it. As I was doing all the customer support when I first joined Rocketspark, and it got to a point where I couldn't manage all of that as well, so then we got a customer support person, and we started them at 20 hours a week, 25, worked up to 30, now Faye's full-time, we've got Dave who's full-time as well, so kind of just as we've needed people, we've added them in. The other thing we've found really valuable is we've made really good connections with local tertiary institutions. We advertise jobs through them. We get students coming in working summer. Natalie started working summer, and then she was working part-time while she was studying, and then we brought her on full-time when she finished. So I'd like to invite Tonya and Rachel to come up, and we're just going to have some, I'm just going to ask them some quick questions. So Tonya, do you want to tell us a little bit about your growth journey?
Yeah.
And the reason I think, so from Tonya's point of view, being a individual, sole trader kind of thing, there's a different kind of growth journey than Metro, who've gone to quite a large team.
Yeah, and I was going to start with saying, I think when you think about scaling up, you really have to think about what your goal is and what kind of a business you want to create. So for me, I've been asked hundreds of times when I'm going to start employing staff and becoming bigger in terms of having more staff on board and that kind of thing. And to me, that has never interested me. I love being involved in the projects. I love working one-on-one with my clients, and I really get a sense of satisfaction from taking a project from start to finish and seeing the completion of that. So for me, hiring people to do that kind of work was just never in my agenda. So in terms of scaling, I guess there's other things that you can outsource. There's sort of a lot of admin type stuff, which I probably need to get on top of too, to be honest with you, that needs to be outsourced. And I've also just recently had an intern with me for the last school term, 1 day a week, which was really cool. And just having someone, so I like to focus on brands and websites. I love the branding and the website projects. And obviously with branding, then comes things like you were saying, like the business cards and the flyers and the stuff that goes with it. So for me, I'm looking at having someone, this intern in particular, to outsource that sort of stuff to, or just to get her in to work on that alongside me, really. So that I'm still managing the process and the creative on it, but she's literally just another pair of hands for me. So that seems to be working really well at the moment. But aside from that, yeah, my growth journey is really not about more people. It's more about becoming, I think you mentioned it when we were talking about quotient, when you're getting all your quotes accepted and that kind of thing. And so for me, it's sort of when I'm booked 3 months in advance is when I go, okay, it's time to bump those prices up a little. So it's really a growth journey of how much I'm charging.
So it's kind of on value, more about value growth. Okay, cool. Rach, do you want to give us the Metro story?
So I worked with Michelle for 12 years. She was a director in another business that I was employed in, and when she left that company I went with her. At the time we were e-business consultants for a different website company based up in Auckland, and we kind of had the licence for the Waikato and the Bay of Plenty. And then we landed a massive contract over in Tauranga and found out that we needed more people. So we grew from a team of 3 to a team of 12 pretty quickly. We ended up employing an in-house web design team, which did not last that long because it's better to contract it out or use Rocketspark. So we've definitely dabbled in different things, and we haven't always had a really clear focus on specifically what it is that we do, but that's just part of the learning journey. Now, our team has downsized a little bit recently, and so that's allowed us to kind of restabilise and look at our strategy again and what it is that we're doing. We tend to always come back to the fact that we love doing strategy, and then we love working with clients on the rollout of that, but outsourcing the stuff that we don't have the skills for, so photography and copywriting if it doesn't fit within our skill set, etc. But similar, we love to see the project from start to finish, and are grateful that we've got people in our team that we can outsource, that we can get into the project when we need to. So we kind of think of ourselves as conductors, so myself, Liz and Michelle as consultants, see ourselves as conductors, and then we have team members or contractors who we bring in who have the instrument that we need to create the music that we want to create for the audience that we're trying to engage. And so it just depends whether that team member's internal or whether it's a contractor. It doesn't matter. It's the instrument that we need for that particular time in the client's marketing journey, I suppose.
Cool, awesome. So give us maybe some anecdotes, if you will, of what's worked well in your growth. So any stories or things that have gone really well, or maybe something that you decided, right, I need to get rid of this and outsource it, and you're just like, that works so well.
For me, it's kind of focusing on the parts of the projects that I'm really passionate about. So I love that kind of website side and that project management side. I was going to mention too, partners is a massive one for growth for me. So likewise, I work with photographers and obviously you guys, and content writers and SEO people, videographers, printers, people who brand products and merch and that kind of thing. And having those relationships with other business partners is awesome for me because it means I'm offering much more than just a brand, and then you need to go and see 500 other people to do something else.
I would say one of the things that worked really well for us was deciding to bring design in-house. So for a few years when it was just Michelle and I, we outsourced our design, and then we eventually got to that tipping point, and we recognised when we hit that tipping point, and we brought Nikita into the team, which has been amazing. And then we hit the next tipping point and got the next designer into the team. So similar to what Greg was saying earlier this morning, we really stretched our resource in-house until it got to a point where it was like, okay, we have to bring the next team member in now, because there's some pain here and there's enough demand in the market to justify bringing the next team member in.
So then what hasn't worked well, and you've kind of already given us a story about what hasn't worked well?
Oh, I know what doesn't work well is when you get so busy working in your business that you don't prioritise time to actually work on your own business. That's a massive one, and that's something that I've seen a real change in my business over about the last maybe 6 years, 6 or 7 years, where I've been involved in groups and things that have really encouraged me to step back and work on my business and focus on my business. And yeah, it's really easy to forget that and to push that to the absolute last priority because you've got work to do for clients. And so, like you said, there's all these things coming in, people are asking you to do a million things that might not be even, your core business or what you're really interested in or passionate about. But it's easy to just kind of get focused on pleasing your clients, which is a great thing to do, but you need to prioritise time to actually work on your own business as well.